top stories this evening, sponsored by Coors, bringing value home. The Guyana Teachers Union will not accept 6% or 7%, even as negotiations continue. GCOM says it will not act outside of statutory provisions amid calls for updates on improved electoral system. Nigel Hughes to challenge government on 30% increase in excise tax on duty-free vehicles for migrants, and improved security infrastructure for border market vendors, promises the president. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Travis Chase with the Wednesday, August 7th edition of the HGP Nightly News. We have what you need to know this evening. That 6% and 7% salary increase for teachers being offered by the government has not been accepted by the Guyana Teachers Union. The GTU's head spoke with Nightly News on Wednesday. The Ministry of Education and the Guyana Teachers Union are expected to meet again on Thursday, August 8th, 2024, for another round of conciliation talks. Ahead of that meeting, President of the Guyana Teachers Union, Dr. Mark Light, is making it clear that the GTU has not and will not accept government's 6 or 7% counter-proposal. The GTU president spoke with Nightly News via telephone on Wednesday.
The union has not accepted any proposed percentage coming out from this process. We would like to put all our teachers at ease and the general public that the union has not accepted any percentages put forward. I want to make it very clear that those percentages that are circulating in social media are not going to be accepted.
Light described the conciliation talks so far as being transparent. He noted, however, that the Guyana Teachers Union had submitted proposals covering 14 areas of discussion. It is now up to the Ministry of Education to present counter-proposals on each item.
Negotiation is an ongoing process. Proposals and counter-proposals are made. Discussions and talks take place to arrive at a feasible position.
The union's president reassured that the negotiation team elected in 2022 will always consult with members of the GTU before accepting any proposal.
Once everything is agreed on, the general public will be made aware of the full agreed document. And of course, the first to be aware of this would be our members. The members have given us a mandate and they have indicated what would be an acceptable percentage.
The GTU called a nationwide teachers' strike on February 5, 2024 to force government to go to the negotiation table for increased salaries and allowances for teachers. That strike lasted 74 days. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. We tell you now that the Guyana Elections Commission, GCOM, says it cannot and will not act outside of statutory provisions pertaining to the conduct of any elections, amid calls from the Alliance for Change for the body to provide updates for an improved electoral system. Here's more from Antonio Day.
The Alliance for Change is calling on the chairperson of the Guyana Elections Commission to provide a comprehensive update on the measures being implemented to improve our electoral system.
That was Alliance for Change AFC Executive Member Beverly Alert calling on the Guyana Elections Commission, GCOM, to provide an update on the electoral system during her party's first briefing Friday last. The Guyana Elections Commission, GCOM, on Wednesday said it cannot and will not act outside of the extant statutory provisions pertaining to the conduct of national registration, local government, and general and regional elections. The AFC called on the local elections body to implement a biometric voting system, but GCOM in a press statement said that the introduction of this proposed system requires legislative changes, and until such is enabled, it cannot proceed with implementing such features. The AFC also said that, quote-unquote, updating the voters list is crucial for ensuring the integrity of the electoral process. In response, GCOM said it cannot update the National Register of Registrants database NRRDB or any list extracted therefrom, except by the way of the existing legal provisions. However, in the same breath, the local elections body said it routinely updates the NRRDB on the basis of reports in relation to deceased persons that are received from the General Register Office by flagging the records of the concerned deceased. Beyond this, voters' lists are sanitized and updated through claims and objections exercises, the body said. Further, in keeping with the amendments to the National Registration Act, number 26 of 2022, the Chief Elections Officer has written to the Chief Medical Officer and the Commission of Police to periodically provide GCOM with the reports of deceased persons. Upon receipt of such reports, GCOM will then move to sanitize and update the NRRDB. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
You need to know that Attorney-at-Law Nigel Hughes says he will challenge government's decision to increase an excise tax of 30% on duty-free vehicles imported for remigrants, since the state has violated a court ruling.
On July 29, 2024, Chief Justice Roxanne George ruled that Guyana Revenue Authority, GRA's 30% increase in excise tax on duty-free vehicle import for remigrants was illegal. A few days later, the state has now decided to gazette the increase to make it legal and applicable. According to the gazetted document, remigrants with duty-free concessions who are seeking to import a vehicle that is 3,000 cubic centimeters and above will now have to pay an excise tax of 30%. This action by the state did not sit well with Attorney-at-Law Nigel Hughes, who has since vowed to take the matter before the courts, as he sees this as an egregious attempt by the government to defy a court ruling.
The concept of retroactive effect for legislation would normally be a breach of the Constitution. There are very, very rare exceptions to it. And in this present case, the only reason they made a change to the regulations was to reverse effectively the decision of the Chief Justice.
The attorney said that the state was out of order.
And that is bad faith. You can't pass legislation simply because you're trying to reverse the effect of a judgment. That is not an acceptable legal basis, and that will be challenged. We certainly need to challenge that, but on a larger and broader basis, jurisprudential basis, we are particularly concerned with any form of retroactive legislation. You cannot pass a law today to make a particular act legal which was not legal yesterday, or which was illegal yesterday, legal today.
The gazetted order makes the regulation with the increases retroactive to September 1st, 2023.
We don't want this to remotely become an option for any government, not just this government, any government. And therefore, we prefer to be protected by a decision of the court.
When asked for a definitive timeline regarding the challenge of the government's decision, Hughes said this will be known soon. The previous rate was 10%. Now, remigrants importing vehicles between 2,000 cc and 3,000 cc will now have to chalk up 20% of the vehicle's value. Vehicles with an engine size of 1,801 cubic centimeters to 2,000 cubic centimeters will now have to attract 10% excise tax rate, while those below 1,800 cubic centimeters will attract an excise tax rate of 5%. In her ruling, the Chief Justice also ordered GRA to refund all those persons who had paid the new rate, which at the time was unlawful. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Antonio, for your reporting. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
Vision's light intelligent lenses. Pick your color, choose your style. Available at Optique Vision Care.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc. powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
Say goodbye to germs with a free Sterling Super Soap automatic dispenser. That's right, get free equipment and installation of our touch-free dispenser. The perfect amount of soap every time ensures clean and germ-free hands. Refilling is quick and easy with 4 amazing fragrances: coconut, sunflower sunrise, pink blossom, and citrus zest. Call us on 265-7403.
Krishna Rock Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating, machinery, excavator repairs, rice field pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara, or call 220-9624, 616-9416, or 619-7880. At Krishna Rock Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
Welcome back to the HGP Nightly News. The trial over alleged electoral irregularities in the 2020 general and regional elections has experienced yet another delay, pushing it back to next month as a result of Magistrate Leron Daly's extended illness. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
The trial, which was scheduled for its 4th hearing at the Georgetown Magistrates Court on Wednesday, August 7, has had multiple setbacks since it started last week. Magistrate Daly's ongoing illness has forced a further delay, and on Tuesday, sick leave paperwork was submitted, resulting in the case being adjourned to September 17 for report. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anin Nandlal, on Tuesday during his weekly program Issues in the News, said he would not divulge into the matter because when he does, it is interpreted as an attack on the judiciary.
Last Sunday, the lawyers received a message that the magistrate would be ill on Monday and Tuesday. And this afternoon, I am informed that another message was received that the magistrate would be ill for the next 30 days.
The last hearing took place on Wednesday, July 31, when the case lead prosecutor, King's Counsel Darshan Ramdani, expressed his concerns to the court on the exclusion of portions of testimonies from the first 2 witnesses after the magistrate ruled the testimonies inadmissible. So far, the defense chief witness, Minister of Local Government and Regional Development Soni Parag, was the only witness to complete her testimony. Rosalinda Rasul, the second witness, provided testimony, some of which was also excluded from the records. Ramdani is contending that the prosecution's case depends heavily on the first 2 witnesses, whose testimony ought to be heard in its entirety. Both the prosecution and the defense were totally over submissions. Magistrate Daly is expected to make a ruling as to whether she will allow Parag to re-enter the witness box. The trial is expected to run for a period of 6 weeks, but with the constant delays, it is likely to last longer. Tiana reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Following concerns raised by vendors plying their trade in and around the border market, President Irfaan Ali promised a heightened police presence in the area. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
Wednesday morning, during a walkabout around the border market area, vendors complained to President Irfaan Ali about the lack of protection in the area. Vendors also cited incidents of robbery and other wrongdoings. Vendors were assured by the president that there will be a heightened police presence.
So today, I got the police will come and do a full outreach on the security. We got to put down at least one major outpost to support the whole market.
The head of state said before the end of the week, a containerized outpost will be set up and cameras will be connected at various points so that the police and vendors can monitor activities within and around the market. Additionally, the president said during the course of the week, Minister of Local Government and Regional Development Sonia Parag, along with the councillors, will also visit the market.
And put down one big shed instead of these small stands in place in a horrible condition.
One vendor highlighted that criminal activities are being perpetuated by motorcycle bandits in the wee hours and cries to the city councils are being disregarded.
We clean up this whole place, we tarmac it, because the city council ain't doing nothing.
Yes.
That's clueless. That they're collecting money from the people in the market. They're supposed to have the constable out there, no constable. The people said no constable, no security, nothing.
Tiana reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party Civic Barrett Jack Dew revealed that over 130 million in deductions have been paid to the National Insurance Scheme as the state continues to probe security firms who failed to remit these funds. Here is more.
In those two regions, maybe combined nearly 1,700 persons who have not had their NIS paid for 3 years, that they are now fully paid.
That was General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party Civic, PPPC Barrett Jagdeo, during his usually weekly press conference at Freedom House, Georgetown. According to Mr. Jagdeo, over $130 million in deductions was paid to the National Insurance Scheme, NIS, by two security companies. He, however, withheld their names of the security firms.
And over $130-something million by the two companies. And now there are some other companies that we're targeting now.
He also put other culpable companies on notice.
If they don't pay all of the outstanding NIS, they're going to lose their government contracts, and also they're going to be handed over to the police. We're not skimping on this effort.
Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Hannah Nandala had recently issued a strong warning to employers, reminding them that it is a criminal offense to withhold NIS contributions from employees and not remitting them. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
There is more news ahead. Stay with us.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized care, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Crow Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
Exciting news! The capping stack has arrived in Guyana. In the unlikely event of an oil spill, this vital equipment is placed over a blown-out well to stop or redirect the flow of hydrocarbons, ensuring a rapid and effective response. With the capping stack now in hand, Guyana stands out as one of just 2 oil-producing nations in the region with such a crucial safety measure readily available. This marks another significant step towards ensuring that Guyana produces oil and gas safely and sustainably.
watching the HGP Nightly News. Thanks for staying with us. 18 volunteers are now members of the Peace Corps in Guyana. Wednesday's exercise will be the Corps' 35th volunteer group to be sworn in. The story from Dacia Richards.
The 35th cohort of volunteers from the Peace Corps were sworn in on Wednesday morning at the Guyana. The 18 volunteers who will work in various communities in the health, environment, and education sectors were welcomed by Minister of Health Frank Anthony. Dr. Anthony expressed gratitude and excitement to have the volunteers on board after having good relationships with past volunteers.
And for those who are working in health, I really look forward to working with you. We have had, in the past, some of the Peace Corps volunteers, apart from working in primary health care, we've had some of them who did work on our filaria elimination program.
He also encouraged the volunteers to embrace and explore Guyana as there is so much to learn. Peace Corps Country Director Deborah Connor highlighted that the new volunteers have committed to working with the respective ministries toward their goals.
So there are 7 education volunteers assigned to secondary schools who will co-teach, enhance school libraries, work with parents, and pull students from the classroom for special tutoring. Environment volunteers, they will work in schools teaching science. Health volunteers will teach life skills to adolescents and will work to support the Ministry of Health.
The volunteers will join the 36 already working in 9 of the country's 10 administrative regions. 7 will work in the education sector, 9 in the environment sector, while 2 will work in the health sector. The Peace Corps was founded in 1961 by John F. Kennedy, aiming to promote world peace and friendship. For HGP Nightly News, I am Dacia Richards.
Thank you, Dacia. As part of the Guyana Police Force's ongoing campaign to eradicate drugs nationwide, police officers in Region 10 recently carried out an operation in the Berbice River. Here is more.
During the operation, the police said a 3-acre marijuana farm was discovered with plants ranging from 4 feet to 6 feet in height. The lawmen said they discovered 254 marijuana farm beds with 50 plants on each. A total of 12,500 plants with an average weight of 27,500 kilograms and with a street value of $3,875,531 were found and destroyed. There was also a nursery with about 25,200 plants and about 140 pounds of dried cannabis. 2 makeshift camps equipped with 4 hammocks, kitchen utensils, and a quantity of groceries were set on fire and destroyed, along with the cannabis plants. Investigations are ongoing. The Custom Anti-Narcotic Unit CANU in the first 6 months of 2023 seized just over 1,493 pounds of narcotics. According to the Madeira statistical report released by CANU, from January to June 2023, 677.40 kilograms of narcotics, consisting of 662.40 kilograms of cannabis, 14.80 kilograms of cocaine, 10 grams of hashish, and 90 grams of ecstasy were seized. The report also highlighted that CANU handled 30 cases, resulting in an impressive 27 convictions, demonstrating its effectiveness in combating drug-related crimes. Tianako reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
You're watching the HGP Nightly News. Your regional news is up next.
From the genesis of footwear comfort, Colors Boutique comes their back-to-school footwear, featuring brands like Skechers, Everlast.
Visit us at 70E Robb Street or opposite 2J Store on Regent Street, Georgetown, or call 225-3010.
Puma, Ocean Pacific, Image brand footwear from as low as $1,000. LRX, Nike, Reebok, Clarks, and more. Sizes ranging from infant to adults. We also have spray ground backpacks. Free giveaways until stocks last. Buy one and get the other pair at half price on selected brands. Colors Boutique, the leaders in footwear comfort.
I can't wait until tomorrow.
Yes.
Start packing this, yeah?
I ain't start packing yet. Usually I pack a couple hours before and I go. Drive. I got my phone, I got my keys, my charger,
Procrastinating planning for the future? Well, that's never a good idea. Let Demerara Mutual and Demerara Fire and General help you get started with planning for your future today. I'm with Dem.
Over 205,000 school-aged children benefit from a $45,000 Because We Care cash grant and uniform voucher. This initiative helps parents ensure their children have the tools needed for education. Oil and gas revenue makes up 29% of the 2024 budget.
And welcome to Wednesday's edition of the Regional News. Former British Virgin Islands BVI Premier Andrew Fahey has been sentenced to 135 months in federal prison by U.S. District Judge Kathleen Williams after having been convicted at trial of cocaine trafficking and money laundering conspiracies for agreeing to facilitate the safe passage of tons of Colombian cocaine through BVI ports headed to Miami. In exchange for his assistance, Fahey would make millions, which would funnel through different businesses or smuggled back to the BVI to hide the money source. According to evidence introduced at trial during March and April 2022, Fahey, managing director of the BVI Port Authority, Olin Vine Pickering Maynard, and the port director's son, Kadeem Maynard, participated in a series of meetings with the purported Sinaloa cartel drug trafficker. To broker the arrangement, Fahey and Maynard agreed to secure license, shielded cocaine-filled boats while in BVI ports, and grease the palms of BVI government officials and employees. They discussed bringing 3,000 kilograms of cocaine through a BVI port as a test run, followed by 3,000 kilograms once or twice a month for 4 months. Fahey and O. Maynard would get a percentage of the millions of dollars in cocaine sales. In April 2022, Fahey and O. Maynard were arrested in Miami as they prepared to pick up a $700,000 cash advance on their deal. K. Maynard was arrested in St. Thomas. O. Maynard and K. Maynard previously pled guilty to conspiracy to import cocaine and were sentenced by Judge Williams to 112 months and 57 months in prison, respectively. Venezuela's Defense Minister Vladimir Padrino yesterday reaffirmed the military's quote-unquote absolute loyalty to President Nicolas Maduro amid an ongoing dispute over the country's contested presidential election results. The comments came after opposition candidate Edmundo Gonzalez and leader Maria Machado urged members of the armed force to quote-unquote to stand at the side of the people. Quote-unquote, "We ratify our absolute loyalty to citizen Nicolas Maduro," Padrino, an army general, said during a broadcast on state television, where he was flanked by all the top brass of the military and the police. The opposition maintained Gonzalez won more than 6 million votes in the July 28 election, compared to 2.7 million for Maduro, and have published online a copy of ballots from 30,000 voting machines. The government says it also has copies of the ballots but has not yet published them, nor has the country's Electoral Authority, whose website has been down since the early hours of July 29. The Electoral Authority, who the opposition says favors the ruling socialists,
has said Maduro was re-elected with around 51% of the vote, beating Gonzalez. An official from the U.S. State Department said it would have been quote-unquote nearly impossible for the opposition to fake the voting tallies it has published. Quote-unquote, "We have examined this evidence and have determined that it would have been nearly impossible to falsify the tallies that were rapidly compiled and uploaded," Deputy Assistant Secretary in the Bureau of Western Hemisphere Affairs, Mark Wells, told journalists. The Belize government has defended the decision to impose a limited state of emergency SOE in the country, saying that the measure has allowed law enforcement authorities to seize weapons from criminal gang members. Prominent attorney Richard D.K. Bradley has been critical of the Ministry of Home Affairs for imposing a state of emergency, saying that it has been done for an event that is not a natural disaster. But Home Affairs Minister Kareem Musa, in dismissing the statement, told reporters that authorities have removed at least 25 guns from off the street since the SOE. Quote unquote, "When you look at the state of emergency, and I always say, it is not a tool that we often use, and it is one of the last resort, but it has yielded significant results over the last month. We're talking 25 or so weapons, in some instances, very high-powered weapons removed from the streets, making our communities safer." Bradley and another attorney were also critical of the authorities for incarcerating a 13-year-old child at the Wagner's Youth Facility within the Belize Central Prison, who has not been convicted of the allegations made against him. Thank you for watching. I am Tiana Cole.
Guyana Teachers Union has not and will not accept 6 or 7%, says Dr. Light, even as negotiations continue. GCOM says it will not act outside of statutory provisions amid call for updates on improved electoral system. Nigel Hughes to challenge government on 30% increase in excise tax on duty-free vehicles for remigrants and improved security infrastructure for border market vendors, promises the president. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Travis Chase. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.